Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh no, it is definitely live.
Really? Is this just behind them?
I think it's just playing the music until people join in.
Yeah.
Because before it was like a pre-recorded 14 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
All-time high, dude. That's insane. Yeah, yeah.
What the heck?
Oh, they actually show like a. Oh, this is just a slide they put up. Actually, never mind. I thought they were about to do a PowerPoint presentation for us too.
They do that later on in the actual call, which is cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right.
Okay, guys, welcome.
Yeah, it's still this music here.
So today is the second quarter investor call, which means they're going to talk about earnings from the second quarter for Activision Blizzard, and then they're going to talk about the future, and we're just hoping that we hear something.
All right, chat.
And I am in a group call with DK Dynamite, Prestigious Key,
Yeah, right?
and
Exactly.
Sky. It looks like he
You would
just
think they'd be playing,
joined.
like Crash Bandicoot or something.
Let me know
I
if
know,
you
right? Some
guys
type of-
can hear me okay. What's up, David? It's so awesome to see you guys.
Yeah, that would be more fake. Yeah, I don't know how Charlie Intel got this info. Maybe
Let
they
me know
had some
how
other
my
stuff.
volume is versus their volume.
See where they're getting it from.
And then also, we'll be focused on the
Thank you
call
so much,
that you
Spin
see on the
God.
screen
So they have a
here.
Zombies Battle Pass? Absolutely.
Loud and clear. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
DK Dynamite is also streaming on his channel. I'm not sure if Prestigious Key is
Absolutely
streaming,
love
but it's possible.
Let's see.
So,
They don't really give.
aw,
any,
thank you, Steve F. Thank you for those revive masks. You're so welcome.
Right,
I really,
'cause it says 12 more
I
minutes
love
until
mine,
it's
and I was
off.
like, I think people might like to wear these. So yeah.
So, it's at 3:30
Fierce
Central, 4:30
Solve
EST.
doing
Yeah, so
really awesome.
we're,
It's crazy that we're
Charlie might
at
have
the
just got
like
other- I don't know
third,
where they got them.
the third investor call for the year, and we're still like,
That's so much money.
we
That's
are
insane.
just hungry
Does
for
like
any
even
kind of
Queen need
information.
Life insurance or car insurance? I'm gonna go with life. Hey, Shrek is loving chat. What's up, man?
I've never
Mr.
seen the
Burrito,
Card
almost
movies.
at a mil. I know, yeah, maybe in a few
I'll
months.
watch them now.
If I keep working hard,
or
that's
whatever,
that's
but-
the key
Yeah.
to it.
Great.
Do they drink gas and diesel and stuff? Is that
They
how they
don't
eat?
show that.
So with this call
But
today, I
think
bet
it's
they're
implied
not
that
going to
that's
say a whole
the-
lot because we haven't had the official
There's
announcement.
so many memes out of that.
We'll probably get
Car
something
insurance
like,
in that universe
well, the
technically
next
just
Call of Duty for 2020 is going to be awesome.
Literally,
We're
dude,
excited
big
about it,
brains
and we
went
have
to
high
that
hopes that it's going to do well. That's
Brain
probably
writing.
the most that we're
Oh
going to
my
get.
God. Oh,
I was-
man.
I
How many
think
maps
we're-
do you think there will be? Well, I think they
we're
said
hoping
multiplayer
for-
maps 10 or something so far. We heard that from rumors.
We're hoping
Campaign
for
missions
them
already
to at
got
least
leaked.
say, you
There's gonna be
know,
side missions too, which sounds fun. But zombies, so far, I think there's only 1 or 2 maps in the files. For that.
Jacob Gruber, thank you. Hoping for a COD announcement. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all's support. It's very
Yes,
sweet.
please.
Godfather, it's my
Yes.
birthday. Awesome. Happy birthday to you. That is amazing. And thank you for your support as well.
Yeah.
So we're hoping for them to say Treyarch is the studio, at least. Treyarch is going to be developing in COD 2020. Maybe give us the title because we kind of already know the title from that Doritos promo that was shown all over Charlie Intel. So we'll see. Isaac Mendeville, hello to you. What's up, Daniel? Hello, Ashley. So it is going to start in about 11 minutes.
I mean, yeah, Blackout was almost a little more easy to follow. It was kind of, it was a bit confusing too, but at least
I'm gonna
we got an
ask
idea
them
of
what they
was
think
kinda
is gonna
going
be
on with
revealed.
VO3.
Hang on.
VO3 was like, oh, you're playing as this person. No, you're not. You're this person. Oh, this first mission actually was the last mission. It's like, what the hell? What's going on here?
So,
Yeah.
what do you think? What's the most do you think we're gonna hear today? I'm expecting.
Treyarch.
Well, I don't know. I'm expecting them to say we're excited about the next Call of Duty and we have high hopes for it, and like that's it. Do you think we'll get more?
Yeah, I think they're gonna say something along the lines of that. They're probably gonna be like, you know, our team at Treyarch and our partners that are currently developing the next title, they're showing a lot of excitement internally. We can't wait to show you more. Like,
That's perfect. That could have been the call right there.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's gonna be, if anything. But could you imagine they announced it? That'd be a hell of a way to do it.
I know. Absolutely insane.
I was hoping that we'd get some kind of trailer today before the meeting, and then they would say something. But no, I
Oh,
guess
please.
that's not happening. It's not.
I was waiting for them to show Woods in the season 5 trailer for Warzone, or maybe show the numbers or something at the end. That'd be a good tease, but they didn't
That'd
get
be
that.
cool.
Yeah.
So we're hoping Thursday is going to be the first reveal with this PlayStation situation.
There was quite a few rumors with that, and I think it's plausible, but at the same time, it's like usually Activision does it themselves. But this time around, the PlayStation streams are huge. They're getting a lot of viewers on those streams, so I think that they may end up considering showing something on Thursday. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see.
Yeah, I've seen rumors about that state of play thing too.
Right.
I'm so confused on whether or not they're going to say anything, because Sony came out and said it's mostly going to be a PS4 VR showcase thing.
Wow.
Right.
Which doesn't really make much sense considering, hey, there's a new fucking thing coming out in a couple months.
Hey, what's up? Right on for Darkness.
So that, right?
Hey, I remember
Right.
you from
See, what was your opinion
PlayStation.
about the
What's up?
when they were saying
Fantastic
you can't
Ears?
use a DualShock 4 on PS5 games? I'm like, who cares? Who cares?
Thanks for being in the
It's
chat
like,
and helping
I get
out.
it, but at the same time, it's like new hardware. You have new games that are utilizing these DualShock 5 controllers or the DualSense.
Fat Monster.
Of course, it's not gonna let you use the older remotes, right? It's like
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, at first I was like really happy.
I kind of have an announcement about Borderlands that I have to make an official announcement about. They have invited me into their exclusive content creator group. I think there's like 22 of us. So there's like privileges that come along with that. So I'm really excited to be a part of that group. And I've had to work hard since the beginning of the release of the game to prove myself, I guess, in a way that they're like, yeah, let's bring her in. So it's a huge honor for me. I feel like I've been on YouTube for like 7 years. I feel like I've worked up to this point, and this is some kind of like promotion for me. So it's it feels like a really nice accomplishment.
Astro, they're all working on the controller already.
But that's like right now, just now getting started. I'm supposed to have, I guess I'm officially, I signed the paperwork yesterday. I'm supposed to officially be in the group sometime today. So I'll be hanging out with Killer 6 and Jolts and some of those other guys. So should be cool.
VR, I have one. I think it's cool. There's some great games on it, but at the same time, it's like they didn't do that much with it. So I don't know if dedicating the whole event this Thursday to like a lot of VR support. I don't know if that's going to be something that people are interested in or not.
Henry, yes, Jolts dude, he is absolutely killing it in Borderlands. Yeah.
Battery life will be improved. Yes. Loot chat. Yep.
Thank you, this guy, Nighty Gaming. Shout out to you. Thank you.
Yeah, King Carter. Yeah.
David, it's so good to see you again.
This little webcast they have.
Hopefully by the, closer to the end of the year when the game starts, release, and I'll start streaming more zombies, and yeah. Good to see you guys more.
All right.
We have 6 minutes.
I think it's actually copyright protected because I think one time I got a claim for that. On my
Really?
laptop. Yeah, I've gotten a claim for elevator music on phone calls before on stream. Makes no sense.
That's strange.
Yeah. They haven't said that Bluetooth controllers don't work. Yeah, I think they've said it. They do. It's
Henry,
just
that's
for
awesome.
PS5 games.
I
Games that are
appreciate
made
that.
for PS5, they won't be compatible with those games.
Silky,
But
yeah,
COD is a
DK
different story, 'cause COD
streaming,
isn't an
and I think he's been
exclusive
live for a while.
next-gen
And
game. It'll be
I'm
on
not
all
sure if
platforms.
Prestige
Maybe
is streaming, but
using like
he's
a
in the
typical
call with
scuff or
us.
something will still work on a PS5 playing
So-
COD. I think that's definitely possible.
And then I also have a pest control
Yeah,
guy
I
coming
think
to
they
my
want you to
door
experience
at like
the new
any
controllers
time
they
now.
have that-
And so
Sense and all that.
I'm
I
like,
can't wait for that.
this is the worst. This pest control
I'm
guy
excited
always
to see
comes
if they
when I'm
end up
streaming.
doing
And how
that
often do I stream?
horror
Like
remake.
never. It's so
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, Resident Evil 4. Yeah. Thank
And
you,
I
Kev.
would actually live stream myself shitting my pants.
Right.
I love that game. I own it on my
Resident Evil.
toaster.
I was a
Big Head
huge
Benga,
fan of
appreciate that.
7,
That's awesome.
Which was Biohazard on VR, one of the best VR games.
Thank you,
ever, if not the
Nighty.
best ever made. It was such a scary experience on VR. It was awesome.
Boxing
I've
Rocks.
actually
We don't
never played
know.
7.
Like COD 2020
It's
announcement
worth it, dude.
tomorrow.
The way it flows into the story is good.
Maybe
it introduces new characters. and everything
I
works.
bet
love
we
it.
see some stuff in Warzone with the season 5.
The first person perspective.
But it might
Yeah,
be
I feel
Thursday.
like that's something that is more
With that
suitable for the
PlayStation
VR,
event.
but like for typical, for typical gameplay without VR, I think third person works better. But
We got 5 minutes to go.
thanks,
I'm gonna have
Pete.
to play it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play it.
Yeah,
Drew, I actually use SteelSeries
definitely worth a go, man. Because 8
headset
picks
for
up right
gaming.
after that, which is
I
good.
have beat the crap out of mine,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I've
yeah.
had it for
Yeah,
years.
pretty hype.
And I really
Right.
like the SteelSeries at Siberia
I mean,
because
I've watched walkthroughs and stuff.
it's true wireless. If you like wireless,
Yeah.
like one battery is charging, you're using one, so you have like
Right.
2 batteries to switch out. I really like mine.
Let's see.
I don't
What's up,
stream
Revived? How you
very
doing?
often, for personal reasons, but I'm trying to get to the
Resident
point where I
Evil 8 was
can
promising. I
stream
agree.
a lot
Are you
more.
getting PS5 or the Series X? Definitely PS5. Obviously, not just for COD
And the microphone that I
exclusivity,
use is an
but,
Audio
really
Technica.
They might announce that.
I don't know
in fall.
the actual
I hope they yeah, I hope
product
they mentioned that. I
number.
heard a rumor a couple days ago that it got extended till 2023. So that's wild.
I have also heard 2023.
Yeah, that's something I'm like, wow. That's
Luke,
they
thank
they
you.
must have a lot of confidence in the vision that Sony has for next gen or something. I don't think Black Ops Cold War will be a reboot, more something like a spin-off.
I appreciate you guys
like parallel universe
tuning in, and it might not be that exciting. We might not get hardly any information, but you know, might as well watch it and listen and see if anything happens. We've literally had they've been like crickets, you know, so far. So like if we get any kind of information, it will be amazing. Again, we're just starved for it.
Those 2 franchises going. Modern Warfare apparently is getting another trilogy, which
Clearly, it works.
Oh my gosh, zombies news. I know that's
it's working, dude.
it's like it would be great just to hear anything about Call of Duty, anything, and then zombies on top of that would be just amazing. I agree, Anonymous.
That's always anything's possible, but it just doesn't seem like
Darth Bobo. I'm excited for Modern Warfare Season 5 tomorrow, but my storage isn't. Yeah, right? It's crazy. These games are getting so huge. Like everybody I know has external hard drives. Cosmo, what do you think will be for COD 2020? What are you hoping to come? Well, I'm hoping to see Victus. I'm hoping to see like those maps remastered, Transit, Diaries Buried. I'm hoping to see them just kind of going back to the roots and making it more along the lines of what we all love, and maybe not taking too many risks for what like they're not sure if we're gonna like or not. I don't know, but I know they have to innovate. Hey, what's up, Choose? Jacob, thank you again. Maybe they're quiet because it's called CIA. Oh, you know, the CIA stood for what was that? It had something to do with it being an alpha build or test or something. So yeah. Gears of War, Jeremy. Yeah, my uncle was the lead developer on that game. So, and I feel bad that I didn't play it. I remember talking to him one time. He's like, "You do Call of Duty, you don't cover Gears." I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I prefer first person."
Let's see. Hey, what's up, Punch? Howard came back on, good stuff.
What do you rate BO4 from 0 to 10? You know, I hadn't played in a while, and I had to go back because an Easter egg was solved. And I think I was just really, I don't know. I felt like when I played it again, I kind of missed it, and I pulled out some of the camos from the box, and I was like, oh, I really miss these camos and some of the graphics and the visuals. So I mean, BO4, I give it about a 7.5. Graham, yes, the day is awesome. There is a lot going on today, a ton. Oh, we got Greg in the call. Awesome.
Yeah, like I wonder if they're gonna say we're still planning on releasing in the fall, or if they're gonna say we're planning on.
So here we go. They're about to start.
They talked about that.
Literally, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine they say, "Yeah, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be releasing the new Call of Duty in spring of 2021." It's like,
Oh.
holy shit! Oh boy.
And now,
TZ Ghost. Huge shout out to TZ Ghost for that beautiful, as I say this, beautiful Beauty of Annihilation director's cut that he posted yesterday. A Derice remake is coming to the Steam Workshop very soon for Black Ops 3. Brand new Easter egg. The classic weapons and pack-a-punch camos are returning from World at War. Huge shout out to you guys working on that. TZ Ghost, Vice Squad, Eric,
No,
you guys really put together a show.
my uncle is not Cliff Belinsky. His name is Lee Perry.
All right, lads.
Here they go.
Oh, yeah, it's starting.
Here we go.
Today, all participants will be in a listen-only mode. Should you need assistance, please signal a conference specialist by pressing the star key followed by 0. After today's presentation, there will be an opportunity to ask questions. To ask a question, you may press star then 1 on your touchtone phone. To withdraw your question, please press star then 2. Please note that today's event is being recorded. At this time, I would like to turn the conference over to Christopher Hickey, Senior Vice President of Investor Relations. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today for Activision Blizzard's second quarter 2020 conference call. With us are Bobby Kotick, CEO, Daniel Alegre, President and COO, and Dennis Durkin, Company CFO and President of Emerging Businesses. And for Q&A, Rob Kostic, President of Activision, Jay Allen Brack, President of Blizzard Entertainment, and Haman Faknini, President of King, will also join us. I would like to remind everyone that during this call we will be making statements that are not historical facts. The forward-looking statements in this presentation are based on information available to the company as of the date of this presentation, and while we believe them to be true, they ultimately may prove to be incorrect. A number of factors could cause the company's actual future results and other future circumstances to differ materially from those expressed in any forward-looking statement. These include the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, the risk factors discussed in our SEC filings, including our 2019 annual report on Form 10-K, our first quarter 2020 10-Q, and our second quarter 2020 10-Q, which will be filed shortly, and those on the slide that is showing. The company undertakes no obligation to release publicly any revisions to any forward-looking statements to reflect events or circumstances after today, August the 4th, 2020. We will present both GAAP and non-GAAP financial measures during this call. We provide non-GAAP financial measures which exclude the impact of expenses related to stock-based compensation, the amortization of intangible assets and expenses related to acquisitions, including legal fees, costs, expenses, and accruals, expenses related to debt financings and refinancings, restructuring and related charges, the associated tax benefits of these excluded items, and significant discrete tax-related items, including amounts related to changes in tax laws, amounts related to the potential or final resolution of tax positions, and other unusual or unique tax-related items and activities. These non-GAAP measures are not intended to be considered in isolation from, as a substitute for, or superior to our GAAP results. We encourage investors to consider all measures before making an investment decision. Please refer to our earnings release, which is posted on www.activisionblizzard.com for a full GAAP to non-GAAP reconciliation and further explanation with respect to our non-GAAP measures. There's also an earnings presentation, which you can access with the webcast, and which will be posted to the website following the call. And now, I'd like to introduce our CEO, Bobby Kotick.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you all for joining us today. We hope all of you and your families are safe and healthy. Our employees continue to do an extraordinary job managing family demands, working in challenging circumstances, and remaining focused on execution of our stakeholder priorities. Ensuring that our employees and their families have the very best health care everywhere we operate remains our priority. Against the backdrop of the ongoing pandemic and significant social and cultural upheaval, we are delivering entertainment that inspires and unites, helps break down barriers, and enables players to forge and sustain friendships and community through gameplay. With billions of gamers worldwide, games provide social interactions that connect people more deeply than any other form of entertainment. The investments we have made in new, compelling content and experiences within our franchises have helped us expand to almost every country in the world across a wide range of audiences. Today, we have a broad and diverse player base of over 400 million players, with over 100 million players in each key region we operate, EMEA, Asia Pacific, and the Americas. And we estimate that approximately half of our players are now female. We have an opportunity to grow and serve more players globally as we discover more ways to connect and engage the world through our epic entertainment. Our second quarter results significantly exceeded our prior outlook for both revenue and earnings per share, and with continued momentum in our business, we are again raising our full-year outlook. Of course, in these uncertain and unpredictable times, our results are subject to change and volatility. In the second quarter, our player base grew 30% year over year, adding more than 100 million monthly active players. Time spent in our games grew 70% over the same period, and Q2 engagement and player investment were at historic highs. We grew net bookings 70% year over year, setting new highs for second quarter net bookings on both mobile and console, with operating margin up strongly year over year. Our results benefited from increased demand from our content as people around the world sheltered at home. This upside varied across businesses and franchises, with our most social content seeing the strongest and longer-lasting impact. The biggest driver of our year-over-year engagement and financial performance was Call of Duty, which has seen a remarkable increase in its scale as we expanded the franchise across platforms, geographies, and business models. As the world starts to reopen, we believe these actions have delivered a true structural change in the trajectory of our largest franchise, and this is the roadmap we plan to follow for the many franchises we have in our library, which dates back to 1980. The launch of Warzone within the Call of Duty universe has given existing players compelling new content and enabled large numbers of first-time players to unleash their inner military heroes. Over 75 million people have played Warzone since its launch, adding significant reach and engagement to a franchise that already enjoyed strong momentum following the 2019 launches of Modern Warfare and Call of Duty Mobile. We've truly seen a step change in the engagement of our franchise, with total time spent in Call of Duty in Q2 more than 8 times higher than in the year-ago quarter. And as players engage, they're choosing to invest, with in-game player investment and sales of premium content both meaningfully higher than last year. The expansion of the Call of Duty franchise to over 100 million players across PC, console, and mobile highlights the scale of the opportunity for our broader portfolio of fully owned intellectual property. We're also seeing ongoing momentum from our growth initiatives for World of Warcraft and Candy Crush. And as we execute on our pipeline of major content and live operations on mobile, PC, and console, we expect to continue expanding the scale of our franchises. We remain focused on investing in our creative talent, growing our development teams to continue delivering more high-quality content more frequently, and continuing to reduce unnecessary process that stifles innovation and creativity. With more players in more countries on more platforms and our deep experience across a wide range of business models, we're on track to deliver the strong long-term financial performance that our stakeholders expect. I'm incredibly proud of our employees and their families. They have overcome difficulties, demonstrated great empathy and resilience, and through extraordinary circumstance have remained steadfast in their commitment to meet growing audience demand for our games. And more than ever, there's a growing need for the services of our Call of Duty endowment, which helps returning veterans transition to the civilian workforce. We, of course, were delighted to fund a record number of placements in the second quarter and have now helped more than 72,000 veterans find high-quality jobs since we started the Call of Duty endowment in 2009. In the near term, while the economic outlook remains very unclear, the ongoing commitment of our creative and commercial teams should enable us to remain on track to deliver great new content in the second half of the year. We now expect record full-year net bookings and earnings per share. Thank you all for your support and your encouragement. Daniel will now review the highlights of our operations for the past quarter with you.
Thank you, Bobby. As you heard, Activision Blizzard significantly exceeded its second quarter outlook. Each of our key franchises delivered better than expected results, with growth led by the Call of Duty franchise following the launch of Warzone. During the quarter, we remained laser-focused on driving financial performance through our 3 strategic growth drivers of expanding audience reach, deepening engagement, and increasing player investment. Strong execution against these growth drivers enabled us to serve compelling experiences to an expanded gaming audience against a backdrop of demand tailwinds from shelter at home in the quarter. We saw substantial growth in our biggest franchises, and importantly, the increased investment and successful initiatives that drove strong Q2 results also position us to continue growing and delighting our global communities, and to deliver sustained greater financial performance over the long term. Now turning to our franchise and operational highlights across our business units. Starting with Activision, monthly active users, or MAUs, grew more than threefold year over year to 125 million. Call of Duty reached new heights in the quarter, with reach, engagement, and player investment experiencing another step change increase following the launch of Warzone in March. Warzone has now brought in more than 75 million players, and in the first full quarter since Warzone launched, hours played in the Modern Warfare universe increased eightfold year over year, driven by both existing and new players. As Warzone players engaged, many upgraded to premium Modern Warfare experience. In fact, in Q2, we added more players outside of a launch quarter to the premium Call of Duty experience than ever before, with the majority coming through Warzone, reflecting the powerful combination of premium, differentiated content alongside a free offering. Warzone's success is enabling us to reach new players in new geographies, including on PC, with PC consumption more than double the prior premium content release. Call of Duty in-game net bookings more than doubled from Q1 and were around 5 times higher than the year-ago quarter. In its first 3 quarters, total in-game net bookings for Modern Warfare now exceeded the prior 3 Call of Duty titles combined over the same period. Engagement has remained strong in the third quarter, and our 5th season of new content launches tomorrow, with map changes and new events that we think will continue to delight players. As we look ahead, Activision will continue to build on its direct digital relationship with its expanded community as it delivers the next premium installment for Call of Duty, which comes from a wholly owned Call of Duty studios, Treyarch and Raven Software. We're excited for its planned release later this year. Call of Duty continues to break new ground on the mobile platform too. Call of Duty Mobile saw strong sequential growth in engagement and player investment, benefiting from both shelter-in-place tailwinds and the team's ongoing work to further optimize gameplay, monthly seasonal content, and the in-game economy. The game climbed up the U.S. App Store grossing charts, and each of the 3 seasons in Q2 generated more net bookings per day than the prior. And having pivoted all matches to online play and remote production in April, we continue to celebrate player achievement and drive even greater franchise engagement with the Call of Duty League. And Activision continues to refresh beloved IP for some of the world's most passionate fans with 2 titles that are shaping up fantastically. We are thrilled to again partner with legendary skateboarder Tony Hawk to bring Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 back to gamers in September. And Activision will build on the incredible success of the Crash franchise in recent years to launch Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, the first entirely new, built from the ground up Crash experience in over a decade, launching in October. Now turning to Blizzard. MAUs were 32 million in Q2. World of Warcraft reach and engagement once again increased sequentially, as shelter-at-home conditions further boosted the franchise's strong trajectory since the launch of Classic. Blizzard is delivering live operations, quality of life enhancements, and major content to keep its expanded community engaged. This includes the release of the most significant multiplayer event in WoW Classic in July. And anticipation continues to build for Shadowlands, the next expansion for modern WoW coming in the 4th quarter. Engagement in the franchise is the highest it has been at this point ahead of an expansion in a decade. And Shadowlands is seeing an enthusiastic response from players in its public testing, with pre-sales accelerating even further in the 2nd quarter. The expanded Hearthstone team launched the game's latest expansion as well as a new hero class during the 2nd quarter, as they continue to accelerate the pace of innovative content in the franchise. Building on the success of Battlegrounds and strong execution in live operations, the Hearthstone pipeline includes expansions, new engagement features, and exciting new game mode planned for the coming quarters. Overwatch saw a significant number of returning players, contributing to strong year-over-year growth in engagement. The franchise continues to enjoy a sizable, loyal, and engaged community, both in the game and bolstered by ongoing enthusiasm for the Overwatch League as the development team works on the eagerly anticipated Overwatch 2. And finally, the Diablo franchise's entry into mobile, Diablo Immortal, looks great, with Blizzard planning to expand internal testing with the company playtest to start in the coming weeks. Now turning to King. King MAUs increased 5% year over year to 271 million, including double-digit growth in MAUs for the Candy Crush franchise. King delivered strong increases in reach and engagement amidst shelter-at-home conditions at the start of Q2. We saw these tailwinds moderate in the second half of the quarter, although MAUs remained higher year over year, again driven by Candy Crush. The team's ongoing initiatives to broaden the payer base enable the business to benefit from this higher reach and engagement. Payer conversion was higher year over year throughout Q2, continuing the improving trend seen in recent quarters, and positioning the business for stronger results over the medium and long term. And Candy Crush was once again the top grossing franchise in the US App Stores. King recently announced its first release since narrowing its pipeline to focus on its highest potential projects. As we leverage the strongest capabilities across our business units to further expand the reach of our IP, King will bring Activision's beloved Crash franchise to the mobile platform. Crash Bandicoot On the Run is an ambitious new take on the runner category with deep social and resource management elements, and the game is already looking great as it progresses through testing. Along with higher performance for in-app purchases, King also delivered strong growth in advertising, accelerating through the quarter even with ongoing headwinds in the digital advertising sector. While the backdrop remains uncertain, the performance once again validates the value proposition of our premium, safe platform for brands in any environment. Turning to the impact of the pandemic on demand, shelter-at-home conditions boosted reach and engagement for each of our key franchises in the first half of the quarter. These tailwinds moderated in the second half as more countries started to reopen, with trends varying across geographies and franchises. EMEA and Asia Pacific saw greater moderation as lockdowns ended, with the Americas seeing more sustained tailwinds. And while casual franchises returned to more typical trends more quickly, our core franchises with the greatest emphasis on social, multiplayer gameplay are seeing engagement remain elevated even as regions reopen. From an operational perspective, while the vast majority of our employees continue to work from home, our teams continue to deliver content, features, and services to our players. As discussed last quarter, remote working does add complexity and challenges in some areas of the game development process, but our mitigation measures have been effective so far, and we believe we are on track to deliver new content in the second half. In summary, our franchise focus and a return to the execution standards that have driven our business for decades will result in substantial overperformance against our original outlook. Dennis will now share the detailed results of our second quarter and specifics of our revised outlook. Dennis?
Thanks, Daniel. Today, I will review our Q2 2020 results, as well as our outlook for 2020 and the third quarter. Our second quarter revenue and earnings were well ahead of our prior outlook, primarily driven by a strong player response to our initiatives in the Call of Duty franchise, along with greater than anticipated shelter-at-home tailwinds for our other franchises. To review the quarter, let's start with our segment results. Activision revenue was $993 million, increasing 270% year over year. Growth was driven by Modern Warfare and Warzone in-game revenues, strong sales of premium Modern Warfare, the addition of Call of Duty Mobile, as well as catalog content sales. Operating income was $559 million. Activision's operating margin was 56%, an all-time record, reflecting high incremental margins for both in-game and upfront sales on console and PC. Blizzard revenue was $461 million, growing 20% year over year, driven by another strong quarter of growth for World of Warcraft. Operating income was $203 million, with an operating margin of 44%, both significantly higher year over year. King revenue was $553 million, was the highest since the 2016 acquisition, growing 11% year over year. In-app revenue growth moderated during the quarter but remained positive throughout, while advertising revenues re-accelerated throughout the quarter. Operating income was $212 million, again the highest since the acquisition, with an operating margin of 38%, 4 percentage points higher year over year. Across our segments, in-game net bookings grew 77% year over year to a record $1.37 billion. Now let's turn to our consolidated results. Unless otherwise indicated, I will be referencing non-GAAP figures. Please refer to our earnings release for full GAAP to non-GAAP reconciliations. For the quarter, we generated Q2 GAAP revenues of $1.93 billion, $242 million above our May guidance. This includes the net deferral of $146 million. Net bookings of $2.08 billion were $403 million above our May outlook. And we generated Q2 GAAP EPS of 75 cents and Q2 non-GAAP EPS of 81 cents, which was 17 cents above guidance. These figures include the net deferral of 16 cents. Turning to cash flow in the balance sheet, Q2 operating cash flow was $768 million, increasing over $600 million year over year, reflecting higher operating income and lower cash taxes, offset by working capital timing. During the quarter, we paid an annual dividend of 41 cents per share, 11% higher year over year, for a total of $316 million. Our cash investments at the end of June was approximately $6.5 billion, and we ended the quarter with a net cash position of approximately $3.8 billion. We have long viewed our strong balance sheet as a strategic asset, and we're pleased that the strength of our business fundamentals and conservative financial policy were recognized in a recent upgrade of our credit rating to A- at S&P. Now let's turn to our outlook for Q3 and the full year. With regard to our slate, in Q3, Activision's 5th season of content for Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Warzone launches tomorrow, and the team will release new features, events, and seasons for Call of Duty Mobile. On September 4th, Activision will release Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Blizzard will launch its latest Hearthstone expansion, Scholomance Academy, on Thursday this week, and through the quarter will continue to support other key franchises with in-game content. And King is planning numerous features and innovative live ops in Candy Crush, as well as other games across its portfolio. In the fourth quarter, in addition to ongoing live ops and in-game content across the portfolio, Activision plans to launch Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, and most importantly, the new Call of Duty premium release is slated to arrive into what we expect to be the largest and most engaged franchise player base at launch ever. And Blizzard plans to release the World of Warcraft Shadowlands expansion for its expanded community. In the second half, we will also continue to refine and test new mobile content in our pipeline, although consistent with our prior outlook, we don't include any material revenue from new mobile titles in our guidance. Before I discuss the specifics of our outlook, I'll provide some context. We continue to experience strong momentum in the business, even as tailwinds from shelter-in-place moderate. In the second half, we are planning to launch major new content into key franchises with meaningfully larger audiences than we have seen previously, creating the opportunity for strong financial results. In particular, the addition of the Warzone free-to-play experience has significantly increased the reach, engagement, and player investment in Call of Duty, building on existing strength for our largest franchise and creating a strong foundation for future financial performance. That said, we remain mindful of risks and uncertainties related to the global economic weakness, rising unemployment, and potential pressures on the retail channel and pricing. The full extent of the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on our business, operations, and financial results will depend on numerous evolving factors that we are not able to fully predict at this time. We continue to believe we are being prudent in our guidance to account for these risks, and there could be overperformance if these risks do not materialize. So with that as a backdrop, we are again raising our outlook for net bookings, revenue, and EPS for the year, with our full-year outlook increasing by an amount greater than our second quarter overperformance. Now let me get into specifics. For Q3 on a GAAP basis, we now expect revenues of $1.8 billion, including the net recognition of deferrals of $150 million. We expect net bookings of $1.65 billion. Product costs, game operations, and distribution expenses of 18%, and operating expenses, including software amortization, of 46%, and a GAAP-only restructuring charge of approximately $20 million. We expect a tax rate of 20%, GAAP and non-GAAP share count of 780 million, and EPS of 64 cents. For Q3 on a non-GAAP basis, we now expect product costs, game operations, and distribution expenses of 18%, and operating expenses, including software amortization, of 40%. We expect a tax rate of 19% and non-GAAP EPS of 75 cents, including the net recognition of deferrals of 15 cents. On a GAAP basis for 2020, we now expect revenues of $7.28 billion, including net deferrals of $350 million. We now expect net bookings of $7.63 billion, $725 million above our May outlook. Product costs, game operations, and distribution expenses of 19%, operating expenses, including software amortization, of 47%, and a GAAP-only restructuring charge of approximately $50 million. We expect a GAAP tax rate of 20%, GAAP and non-GAAP share count of 780 million, and GAAP EPS of $2.46. For 2020, on a non-GAAP basis, we expect product costs, game operations, and distribution expenses of 19%, and operating expenses, including software amortization, of 42%. We expect a tax rate of 19% and non-GAAP EPS of $2.87, including net deferrals of 18 cents. So in closing, our business has strong momentum heading into the back half of the year. Having increased investment in development and commercial resources for our largest franchises last year, strong execution against our strategic initiatives meant we were well positioned to drive growth in reach, engagement, and player investment in the second quarter as people sheltered at home. This puts us in a very good place for the second half of the year and beyond. The opportunity set for our business and wholly owned franchises across platforms, geographies, and business models has never been greater, and we remain confident in our ability to deliver the long-term business excellence and performance that our shareholders rightly expect. Now, I welcome our business leaders, Jay, Humam, and Rob, as they join us for the Q&A portion of the call. Operator?
We will now begin the question and answer session. To ask a question, you may press star then one on your touchtone phone. If you are using a speakerphone, please pick up your handset before pressing the keys. To withdraw your question, please press star then two. At this time, we will pause momentarily to assemble our roster. Today's first question comes from Eric Sheridan with UBS. Please proceed.
Thanks so much for taking the question. I think coming back to some of the comments you made during your prepared remarks, I wanted to know how you view COVID-19 as acting as an accelerant against various industry trends, digital downloads, expanding the base of users, expanding time spent by users. And what do you think the sustainability of that current momentum is over the medium term? And Dennis, I think you might have referenced it in some of your comments, how you also think about the potential unwind from these current trends and how it could play out across some of the platforms where you operate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eric. This is Daniel, and thank you for the question. You know, it certainly looks as if COVID has really accelerated secular trends in the sector. In terms of our player numbers and engagement, we think you're seeing an acceleration in something that was already strong and was the strong growth in gaming that we've been experiencing. Consumer leisure time has been shifting to more interactive forms of entertainment for many years, and that has just accelerated in the recent months. Now, we believe that as new players come into gaming, they're going to gravitate towards the largest franchises that have massive communities who are enjoying fresh and compelling experiences. So we've seen that with, Call of Duty and World of Warcraft in particular, where content initiatives over the last few quarters meant that we were really well positioned to deliver great content as new players came in. And as we continue to benefit from the social nature of many of our games, we expect that as new players engage and form in-game connections with existing or new friends, many of them will stay engaged for the long term. And we see this as a really big opportunity. And as you'd expect, in our franchises, we're doing everything we can to welcome as many new players as possible and expanding the funnel to bring more gamers into our communities and really give them the compelling social experiences that turns them into long-term fans. We've also seen a further acceleration in the ongoing mix towards full game downloads, which, as you know, has a positive financial impact for us. And as you've seen for many years, now that as consumers buy media digitally, they tend not to go back to physical purchases because of the conveniences and the advantages of buying digital. So we think this shift is likely going to be sustained. Now, some of the demand tailwinds from shelter at home are moderating, as we discussed in our opening remarks. But what's more important for us as we look forward is that there's just such a huge opportunity for us to further expand our franchises as we execute on our pipeline and our growth initiatives and invest in great and innovative new content. Now, while we have over 400 million players already, there's billions of users and gamers out there worldwide. We want to continue to find ways for them to experience our franchises in whichever way that they prefer. And we have the pipeline in place to achieve that and are focused on continuing to execute against this pipeline to really unlock that full potential of our portfolio.
Thanks, Eric. Operator, can we have the next question, please?
Today's next question comes from Doug Creutz with Cowen. Please proceed.
Hey, thanks. So we're all waiting with bated breath to hear about what you've got planned for Call of Duty this year. Obviously, this is by far the latest you've gone without showing it to your audience. How should we think about the marketing campaign you've got prepared for this year's Call of Duty? How do you plan to integrate Warzone into the new Call of Duty? And what are you thinking about for pricing for next-gen games right now?
Hey, Doug, it's Rob. Thanks for those questions. Let me try to attack them one by one. I probably want to just start out by saying first that the success of, what we say Warzone and Call of Duty Mobile, in addition to, of course, what we've continued to see on our premium games, has created a ton of new opportunities for the franchise. And so starting with marketing, it's definitely had an impact there on how we think about marketing in this new world. As you've seen from our results, right now we have a larger, more engaged and more global audience than we've ever had at any point in time in our history. And that means that we could be more direct and more targeted than we've ever been before. So that's a huge benefit and plus for us as we think about marketing on that vector. Another thing I think that's really important for us as it relates to marketing is from the storytelling perspective, where we can be even more, I think, creative and fun and engaging with our fans than ever before. So if you look at Warzone in particular, it's not only like a great game experience, but it's also a great platform for us to share new franchise news and information directly with our community like we haven't done before. So this is also a big and positive change for us as we think about the business. And kind of to your initial point that you're talking about, why is it, you were waiting for such a long time? We are and we aren't, but it's Warzone, I think, that's caused us to rethink how, when, and even where we reveal our upcoming titles. So we can't wait to share it with the community, and we think it's going to be very different and more engaging than anything that we've ever done before. Now, as you heard on the call before, Treyarch and Raven are coming up with the next premium game, and obviously very excited on what they're working on, and we do think fans are going to absolutely love it. The game looks incredible right now, and internally people are having a ton of fun playing across its campaign mode as well as the online modes that the developers are very well known for. And so all I can say in terms of timing is I suspect you'll be hearing more about this fairly soon. Now, on your question of how we're going to integrate the new title with Warzone, I think that's a good one and it's an important one. And what you should expect is that we do a very tight integration between the two. Modern Warfare and Warzone are obviously very tightly connected. I think that's really important for the player base. And we plan to do the same with all our upcoming titles as well, our premium titles, to ensure that we can reward all of our players and give them fresh new experiences, regardless of whether they choose to just play in Warzone or also play in the premium game as well. So the connection will absolutely be there. And then finally, I think on your last question was in regards to next-gen pricing. And so what I'll say here is we'll be sharing our plans soon, so I'm not going to share anything today. For now, we're just very excited for the launch of the new generation of hardware. We think it represents another strong leap forward in creating really incredible entertainment and value for our fans as we look forward. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Doug. Can we have the next question, please?
The next question comes from Alex Giaimo with KDV. Please go ahead.
Hey, thanks for the question. This is Alex Giaimo from Jefferies.
On the Blizzard side, was hoping to just get an update on how the development teams are adapting to work from home as of now, and if there's any potential impact to the timing of the sequels announced at BlizzCon 2019. And then since there won't be a BlizzCon this year, should we expect some form of virtual update from the Blizzard team at some point? Thanks, guys.
Thanks. This is Jay. I think the teams have done a good job in adapting to a remote work environment. When you think about the team-based collaboration that's required to create great games, the current remote work environment does have some challenges when it comes to iteration and ideation. But I'm proud of the teams, and I feel like they've been incredibly resourceful to figure out ways to continue to serve the community with the great content, as you saw in Q2 and in Q1 of this year. All of this gives us a lot of momentum heading into the second half of this year, where we have a lot of things planned. The WoW and the Hearthstone teams continue to bring lots of content to the community, and this is important for both of these games going forward. Longer term projects that are in a more creative or collaborative stage of development make it harder to really measure the impact of the shift to remote working. And one of the things that we're conscious of is the longer this situation persists, the greater the challenge. So we're continuing to actively monitor, continuing to plan, and try to put ourselves in the best possible position, continuing to operate effectively during COVID and beyond. So you mentioned BlizzCon, and we did announce that we will not be bringing the community together this fall, but we are planning on channeling the spirit of BlizzCon into a virtual event in the early part of next year. We're really fortunate to have a passionate and engaged community that's really looking forward to what we're creating and what we're working on, and we're looking forward to sharing what the teams have been working on in that event. Since you asked about sequels, Diablo and Overwatch teams, they're deeply committed to creating awesome AAA experiences for players. They're working hard to bring those games to the community, and we expect the launches and data that we continue to release on those to be big events for those franchises. And beyond those launches, we've been focused on delivering new experiences in our live games that the community really enjoys. So, we talked about here in WoW through Classic, we've been able to introduce more content from the existing subscription to continue to give the community real reasons to stay engaged. And outside of the tentpole sequels, we have a number of initiatives that are underway, and we expect to deliver strong and consistent performance in the future. That's something that's very important to us. Thanks for the question.
Thank you. Thanks, operator. Can we have the next question, please?
The next question comes from Young Kim with Piper Sandler. Please proceed.
Thank you for taking the question. Can you describe the trends you've seen in the advertising business since the last call? Help us understand the drivers and what the opportunity for growth looks like.
Hey, this is Humam. Thanks for the question. Our advertising business proved resilient in the second quarter, and we delivered robust year-over-year growth. Now, at the heart of this ad business is our platform, which provides a fully controlled, safe environment for brands. And that's a very powerful value proposition for advertisers, especially given the current backdrop. Now, to add to that, we have a number of initiatives underway that will further strengthen this platform. So as an example, we're continuing to invest in the direct sales force and expand our network demand partners as well. And again, we saw strong year-over-year growth across both the direct advertisers and our demand partners in Q2. Now, add to that we're continuing to invest in our tech infrastructure, and we continue to invest in tools as well to further optimize this demand and the pricing around it. But at the heart of it, the way I think about the investment is also the investment in the product itself and the innovation there. So that is also resonating. So as an example, to give one, we worked with Target in Q2, and they were looking to drive awareness in consideration with their Easter marketing campaign. And when we combined an integrated sponsorship in Candy Crush Saga with our rewarded video product, Target was able to reach tens of millions of players in the U.S., and they achieved 10-point lift in their top-of-mind awareness and a 7-point lift in consideration. So all of this is allowing us to attract new brand advertisers into the ecosystem. And over the past few months, we had
So I think that's all we're going to be hearing about. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Anything Call of Duty. I'm really shocked that we even got this much, but it's about time that we do get some information because, you know, this is the last meeting before the Call of Duty is going to be actually released. So I do believe that they did say something that hinted at zombies coming back. They had said something like Treyarch's going to be doing game modes that they're known for. And I need to go back and get the audio. I'm going to tweet that part of the audio out, and I'm just going to have to, yeah, my pest control dude just showed up. That's like perfect timing. So I'll have to run. I'll leave this running for a second, but thank you guys so much. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Hang on.
Thanks, Young. Operator, can we have the next question, please?
The next question comes from Mario Lu with Barclays. Please proceed.
Great. Thanks for taking the questions. I have two on Call of Duty Mobile. With the title generating more bookings per day in each season of Q2 versus season prior, any color you can provide on how sustainable that performance is going forward? And secondly, with the Activision segment reaching its record operating margins this quarter, are most profits of COD Mobile in particular still being invested back into growth, as you guys stated previously, or are some flowing down to the bottom line now?
Hey, Mario, it's Rob. I'll take that one. Obviously we do believe that it's sustainable, and we're very excited for what's going on COD Mobile. We're seeing really strong momentum with the title. The game's now surpassed over 250 million downloads globally, and it just keeps on tracking for us. Over the past several months, the team has made really great progress on adding great new content for the community, and then also in optimizing, the engagement, the retention, and the in-game economy to make sure we're working on all components. So overall, the game is performing really well. And as you noted in your question, we are absolutely still reinvesting in both the product itself and also in the marketing to build an even larger audience, similar to what you'd see, a lot of top mobiles do, especially in this earlier growth phase for mobile. But I'd also say at the same time, the game is still contributing nicely both to the top and bottom line for Activision. But because of its scale, we're seeing it benefit us, and we're also reinvesting in it. The game's coming up on its 1-year anniversary in October, and I mentioned the content investment. In October, we plan on delivering significant new content to the game and a lot of in-game enhancements, including a new weapon system for mobile. Now, you've probably seen, our players have certainly noticed in Modern Warfare how much they're enjoying customizing their weapons and how they do it in that experience. And we think the community is going to love the opportunity to do the same in COD Mobile. So, overall, we're extremely happy with the sustained trends we're seeing on mobile. We continue to reach new audiences around the world, and I'd say we're just very committed to growing our mobile business. For us, that includes adding additional internal mobile talent and resources. Of course, we'll continue to support our existing initiatives. And I think importantly, as we look forward, even more tightly integrating mobile into the overall Call of Duty ecosystem to bring our community together closer and having more fun. And, I'd just like to close by, and we've mentioned this before, I think, but it is important. Call of Duty right now, through the success of our premium titles in Warzone and mobile, is larger and more global than it's ever been at any point in time in its history. And I just want to say thanks to all of our teams who've just done an incredible job across the board. And of course, we are super thankful to our incredible community for their continued trust and support for what we're doing on Call of Duty. Thanks for the question.
Yeah, thanks, Mario. Operator, can we have the next question, please?
Did I just miss a Call of Duty
The
question?
next question comes from Brian Nowak with Morgan Stanley. Please proceed.
Thanks for taking my question. Wanted to sort of bring together the two segments. Curious about learnings you've had from Call of Duty Warzone and mobile that you think could be applicable to Diablo or other franchises, just to sort of help us think about some of the growth drivers for Diablo or other franchises in 21 and 22 they may have learned from Call of Duty. Thanks.
I'll take that. This is Daniel. And Brian, thank you for the question. As you just heard from Rob, we are really bringing that community and that experience together across platforms and across experiences. And firstly, I'd say we're really just not done with Call of Duty. We're in the first inning. We've only been 5 months in since the life of a Warzone, and the team is working really, really hard to integrate that with our next premium release so we can really maximize the potential of this powerful combination of both premium and free-to-play content. And it's still early in expanding the audience on PC as well, which offers, as you know, a very significant potential for future growth when you consider the size of the player base, and particularly including the fact that we are now having access to players all around the world, and expanding it. So PC obviously is more accessible. And then, as Rob was mentioning, there's a lot more to come on mobile too. COD Mobile is off to a really great start, but we're just scratching the surface of what that franchise can be on mobile, and then integrating the experiences across multiple platforms we know is just an incredible opportunity for the franchise. But to the early successes, they do represent incredible proof points, as to your question, of how the franchise strategy is really working. And it certainly applies to a lot of other franchises that we have. We see that our current players really want more ways to engage with their favorite IP, be it through mobile or other platforms, and that offering authentic and really deep experiences on new platforms can drive much, much higher engagement. And this quarter's results really shows that. And we also see that the free-to-play on mobile and other platforms can bring in multiples of new players into our franchises. Importantly, with strong execution, this is not cannibalistic. Actually, on the contrary, free-to-play coexists with other business models and can be meaningfully additive to a franchise, bringing new players into the ecosystem. So these proof points are relevant across our portfolio. And to your question, it's not just Diablo, but it's also across all our franchises. And our teams see an opportunity to drive that greater reach, engagement, and player investment greater than ever before across our franchises. And with a really strong execution that we know we can deliver, we expect to continue that trend. And thanks again for your question.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Operator, can we have the next question, please?
The next question comes from Mike Ng with Goldman Sachs. Please proceed.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for the question. It was encouraging to hear that Diablo Immortal was entering into an expanded company playtest in the coming weeks. Could you just give us an update on your expectations for the Diablo Immortal regional testing plan? Thank you.
Hi, this is Jay. Thanks for the question. As we talked about earlier, we are planning for the game to enter, what we're calling expanded internal testing this quarter. And internal testing is an important step for us, not only from an operational perspective, but also because, we have many Blizzard employees who are deeply engaged. We have quite a few expert players within the company, and, a lot of the employees that we have represent many aspects of our global community. From the very beginning, it was important to us to ensure that this is an authentic Blizzard quality Diablo experience for the huge community of Diablo players around the world. And, it's our intention to meet the expectations of those players everywhere. The type of experience that Diablo players have loved for over 20 years is one that we think is appealing to everyone, and we think that we're working here on a deep and engaging RPG on mobile. And so there's great potential for players in all regions to really love the game. And so we're more than willing to spend the time on it to get it right. You know, we've continued to see a lot of interest and anticipation from the Diablo community, and the game's coming along really well. We're eager to get it into the players' hands. I'll mention one more thing. You asked about Diablo Immortal, but I do want to take the opportunity to also mention Diablo 4, which we are building for PC and for console, and is also coming along and looking really good. You know, we share public quarterly updates with the community, and we really discuss, the team discusses, you know, the approach of different elements and different storytelling and design philosophies, and we get to interact and see that hardcore Diablo player base respond with the excitement about the direction of the game. And, you know, the entire team is deeply committed to bringing them a fitting continuation to that series. And so, you know, there's a lot for players and fans in the Diablo community to look forward to. Thanks for the question.
Thank you, Jay.
Thanks, Mike. Operator, can we have the next question, please?
The next question comes from Garrick Johnson with BMO. Please proceed.
Good afternoon. Thank you. So Crash Bandicoot seems a bit of a shift for King here, now reaching into the Activision catalog to create games. Can you talk about this strategy a little bit and how King resources will be used going forward, especially as it pertains to the Activision Blizzard catalog? Thank you.
Hey, thanks for the question. This is Humam. You know, first at the heart of our strategy is our biggest live games, which represent our, you know, the heart of our growth here, and that's consistent, I think, with the broader company approach. So we're continuing to focus on our live franchises, and in particular Candy Crush, where we see a really substantial opportunity for ongoing growth. And that means that we continue to invest in content and innovation features, both to engage our existing audience and to also continue to bring new players into our games network. And we've seen this pay off. We've seen double-digit growth year on year in Candy players, and we see continued progress on our payer conversion efforts. And we see the opportunity for growth across both the in-app purchase business and our ads business in the Candy franchise. Now, having said that, we will continue to selectively invest in focused new games pipeline, and we explore both new IP and, where it makes sense, the Activision IP library. So with Crash in particular, when we saw its vibrant history and we saw what that represents over the past 20 years, it represented a great opportunity for us to expand the King portfolio with an iconic IP like that.
Okay, I think I might end the stream here because I don't think they're going to say anything more about Call of Duty. I think that might be one of the last questions. If they do, I'll tweet it out, but I need to go back through the audio and see where they said that Treyarch is working on, you know, the modes that they're known for, which that's zombies. So I want to hear that again. I'll tweet that out. I just got to find that part of the conference where they said that. And so yeah, we got a lot more today than I thought we would, but again, it's kind of in line with what they should be doing because it is so, we're so far into the year, we haven't heard anything, but it was nice to see that tweet from Treyarch where they're announcing themselves working alongside Raven. So that's super interesting. Now, Raven is the group that did Call of Duty for China, and China has this, you know, zombies as well, and so that's interesting. Of course, they've done a lot of other stuff, but you know, that's where I recognize them from the most. And the Call of Duty, the China and the Call of Duty in China is really awesome. So, yeah. Oh, thanks, Darren. So, yeah, I'll tweet that out, and maybe there's more we can like read into what they've said. Probably not though. But this week could be huge. We could finally see the reveal. So we've got the first word from Treyarch on their Twitter, and so that's huge. So thank you guys for hanging out and listening. I know a lot of it was just kind of went over our heads, for me at least it did. But if they do say anything further about Call of Duty, then I will definitely tweet that out. And a lot of people are covering this too. So, hey, what's up, Monkey? Really awesome to see you. But it's getting closer. What are we? We're August? Yeah, it should be all uphill from here until the release. So I will end the stream now, and thank you guys again. And we'll see y'all hopefully soon, and hopefully I have more information about zombies.
And then, of course, while at the same time delivering a new premium experience, 2 consoles with Crash 4. So net, for me, it's 1, it's a great time to be a Crash fan, and 2, it's just also really great to